Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at 5 reasons why I still mix in the box. So the reason I wanted to do this video is because I know that in the audio engineering community, loads of people are still mixing in the box using plugins with really minimal setups at home, and they're coming out with amazing work. So I just wanted to kind of discuss my thoughts on it and see if they're the same amongst the community really. So here we go. So this is point number 1. So my first point is that outboard gear is really expensive. I know you can kind of get more budget stuff nowadays, and there's loads of companies like Warm Audio or Clark Technic who are doing loads of stuff. But for me, it's just the cost of the gear at the minute. Well, for the gear that I aspire to kind of have is just too much and outweighs the cost efficiency of buying software and plugins. And if we're being completely honest with each other here, I'm not earning enough to kind of warrant buying that expensive gear right now. It's just not cost effective for me, and I think that's the same amongst a lot of kind of audio engineers who are starting out in the industry. So the next point I think is really common for most people, and it's down to studio space. Right now, just due to kind of lockdown and COVID and 2020 in general, I currently just don't have the space to warrant loads of outboard gear around me and a desk. Although I do have like a good kind of microphone collection which I use for engineering, and I take to studios, the space efficiency for me just isn't there at the minute, so I can't have kind of racks and racks of gear around me. That's not to say that one day I wouldn't like that. In the future, hopefully we'll have I'll be able to have my own space where we can kind of set up these things and, you know, start running mixes through outboard gear and everything, but right now it's just not space efficient, and I think that's the same for a lot of people in the industry at the minute. Okay, point number 3, and this is a big one. I think it's convenience. I can take my laptop and my trusty focal headphones, which I've got here. I can take these headphones, my laptop, my iLock and my hard drive pretty much anywhere, and I can get the mix that I want, to be honest. So I can be on a beach, or I can be outside in the countryside. I can even be in a car, or most importantly, and this is the same for gigging musicians as well, I can be on a tour bus or in the back of a van or something, just mixing tracks and getting the work done. And I think the convenience, to me, well, currently really outweighs a lot of the perks of outboard gear. And it's not to say that outboard gear isn't great and sounds fantastic, and it definitely has its place. But for me right now, I'm all over the place, kind of moving between a couple of households. I mean, gigging when we get back to it, just the convenience of having a laptop, headphones, and all my software inside the computer is non-comparable for me at the minute. I love it. Okay, point number 4 is efficiency. So when people send me tracks to mix, I can get all the stems inside the computer, get the plugins that I like going. I have different kind of mix templates for different projects, and I can just get a mix done within a day, send it back to you. And if there's any changes that the band or artist want, then the recall time is so quick, so there's no having to kind of patch in outboard gear or run it through the desk again or anything like that. I can just get the session up straight away and just get to doing the mix recalls and making the changes that the artist wants. And that's, I think the time efficiency is really valuable to me, because it allows me to kind of enjoy other things in life at the minute as well, and it allows me to to get mixes back to people really quick. And a lot of things, if we're all being honest with each other here, a lot of things are kind of last minute, and I've had people send me tracks who want the mix the next day pretty much. So if I had the outboard gear right now, I wouldn't be able to kind of facilitate what I seem to be in demand for a little bit. And the last point is number 5. Plugins are so good, and I don't think that's kind of hit a lot of people yet, or it might have done, to be fair. Actually, I haven't asked everyone, but I use Slate Digital plugins most of the time. I also use FabFilter, and I use the Isotope stuff as well. Occasionally I use Waves plugins as well, and they're so good nowadays. I mean, back 10 years, I mean, if you just look at the advancements we've got in kind of digital technology now, what we've done in the last 10 years is kind of phenomenal. And you can have a virtual kind of 1176 compressor compared to a real one, and people really can't tell the difference. Now, I'm not going to say that plugins are better than outboard and outboard are better than plugins. I think there's I think there's so many different factors you have to consider when you say something like that. And in fact, it's not just down to the sound, like we're kind of discussing in this video. There's the efficiency side of things too. I do love Outboard when it comes to kind of tracking and running through it, and if I'm in a studio and it's got it, I'm going to use it. But the plugins now are so good and so high quality that it just doesn't warrant buying the gear at the minute for me. Okay, so thanks for watching. I know that was a really short video, but those were just the 5 reasons that I like to still mix inside the box and in the computer. But I do have a question for people. If you were going to buy a piece of outboard gear, what would it be? So what would your first piece of kind of analog circuitry be? So would it be like an EQ or a compressor or some kind of mastering console thing, or just, you know, what would it be for you? So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you liked it. Give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.